introduce Kay is the center from her 1988 gold medal Olympic team, Hall of Famer Ann Donovan.
Good evening, everyone. It is my sincere honor to introduce Coach Kay Yao for induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Her coaching history includes a record of 625 wins and 268 overall. Her coaching credentials are both numerous and prestigious, but what sets Coach Yao apart from her peers are more than her records or accolades. This is her 38th year of coaching and her 28th year at NC State University. In the 20-year history of the women's NCAA tournament, NC State has competed 16 of those 20 times. They advanced to the Sweet 16 10 times, and in 1998 to the Final Four. There are 5 ACC regular season titles and 4 championships through the ACC tournament. Coach Yao has been named National Coach of the Year twice, and in 1988, the National Organization for Women named her Woman of the Year. Coach Yao has already been inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame and the Women's Sports Hall of Fame. Her international record is a cut above others who have coached the U.S. women. Her record with the U.S. women's team is 21-1 overall. Coach Yao is the only to have coached gold medals in both the World Championship competition and in the Olympic Games. It is through our red, white, and blue connection that I was so fortunate to have crossed paths with Coach Yao, where she impacted my life. Those 2 USA teams turned tides of international women's basketball. It was in 1986 that our women's team wrestled the gold from the Soviets at the World Championship competition held in the Soviet Union that was still communist. It was no small feat, I assure you. Coach Yao led the way in the 1988 Olympic team, further solidified our position as #1 in the world by capturing that gold medal in Seoul, Korea. I can honestly tell you that my life was hugely impacted by playing for Coach Yao in both of those summers. You can imagine how the lives of her student athletes were influenced by Coach Yao. I wanted to introduce this legendary coach to you through her achievements, but also through the words of some of the athletes who have benefited from her caring leadership. In notes confiscated from her office by her secretary, Ina, former athletes, these are words that we got that they had written, and there were thousands to choose from, because Coach Yao writes every athlete's birthday, Christmas, wedding. She keeps up every year with all of her athletes. So in just a few of them, one wrote, "Coach Yao, as I get older, I realize how fortunate I've been to have come up through your system, not only for your knowledge of the game of basketball, but of life in general. God is using you in so many ways, and you touch so many of our lives." Another wrote, "I realize in a powerful way how very lucky I am to have in my life such a wonderful role model. Coach Yao, in all the years I've known you, I never once saw you give less than your best. But more powerful than that, I never saw you do it in a way that was anything but gracious and sincere." And that is Coach Yao, both gracious and sincere. "I have always drawn from the lessons you taught me, not just X's and O's, but how to treat people, how to conduct yourself as a professional, how to hold yourself as a role model. I have failed some and succeeded some, but it always felt as if you were right there, nodding your head, as Coach Yao so does, encouraging me. Thank you so much for the positive environment you provided me when I was a player, and for the gentle concern you continue to show me as an adult, because it doesn't end when you graduate from her program." And finally, a former player who named her daughter after Coach Yao wrote in a message to Coach Yao, "When I was getting Lydia's PJs on tonight, I was reminding her of her name and of her namesake, and she corrected me. 'Mom,' she said, 'it isn't Lydia K. Dozier, it's Lydia Coach K. Dozier.'" As you can see, Coach Yao's influence will continue to be passed on by and through all of us who love her. It is my greatest honor to present to you Coach Kay Yao for induction into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
Kay is escorted by her brother, Ronnie Yao.
Turn around so they can all see you, okay?
Kay Yao
You've been one of the true pioneers in the phenomenal growth of the women's game. Your records of the teams you've coached stands for themselves, as Ann has described. But your biggest gift is your ability as a teacher and your ability to mentor the young women who have played for you. And so it is very appropriate and fitting and a pleasure for me, by vote of the Honors Committee and by the power vested in the Board of Trustees, to induct you as a coach into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame with all rights and privileges. Congratulations, Kay. We're going to go over here, Ron.
Thank you, Ann. I praise the Lord for this evening. May God be glorified. First, I want to say congratulations to the other inductees in the class of 2002. I am honored to be a member of this class and of the Naismith Hall of Fame team. My excitement for making this team can only be matched by the making of my first team ever in junior high school. To see my name on the list again takes me back to the beginning when my heart was pounding, my hands sweating, but I was thankful for the opportunity and ready to give my all. I know the selection committee had a challenging task. I am grateful to you for deciding that my contributions to this great game are noteworthy enough to be selected as a Hall of Fame member. Thank you. When I go back to my beginnings in basketball, there was always a basketball goal in my backyard. As a child, I played all of the what-if games. After everyone else had been called home for the evening, I would often stay in my yard and play for conference and state championships. I persevered until I hit the game-winning shot. Of course, there were no national championship games or Olympic gold medal games, for at that time, there were no opportunities for women to compete at these levels. Nevertheless, basketball was one of the loves of my life. After all, I gave up tap dancing and piano playing, much to the disappointment of my mother, to concentrate on this challenging and fun game. Thus, my career in basketball began, and today I am still learning and pursuing to be the best I can be. My career has been made possible by many people who have dug wells from which I have drunk, and who have built fires from which I have been warmed. And today, there are those helping me to dig wells and to build fires for others. To say that my family has helped me to achieve in basketball would be an understatement. To begin with, there are my two sisters, Debbie, who is the athletic director at the University of Maryland, and Susan, my first Kodak All-American and currently head women's coach at Providence College. Both played for me my first years as a college coach. Susan and Debbie, thank you for giving your all as players, your support as friends, and your love as sisters. My brother Ronnie has always been an encourager to me, seeing the glass half full and the impossible as possible. Thank you, Ronnie, for your love and support. My parents, Hilton Yao, who is in attendance this evening, and Elizabeth, better known as Lib Yao, who passed away with cancer 9 years ago, were very supportive of my basketball pursuits, even when it wasn't cool for women to be involved in sports, particularly team sports. I want to thank them for instilling the qualities needed for success. Of all the gifts my parents have given me, one stands out. They have always believed in me. When I doubted I could not do something, they said I could do it, thus providing me with a most special gift, the gift of believing in myself. To my other family members present tonight, thank you for your ongoing support, help, and interest in my life and my career. And now, To my NC State Wolfpack family, what an incredible journey I am having. All of the honors, awards, and milestones that I have been a part of have been made possible because of very special players, staff, administrators, fans, and friends. Representatives of each of these groups are in attendance this evening to share this moment in time with me. And I am here to accept this honor as a tribute to you and to thank you for your insight, encouragement, expertise, and friendship. And within this group of very special people lies the nucleus of every successful coach, her staff, and players. To all of you from all teams and all levels, you prepared, you planned, you practiced, you performed, you persevered, and you made possible this moment for me. I am richer and better as a person for having been a part of your lives. Thank you for all you have given me and for all you have done for me. As I prepare to leave the podium, I am reminded of my first major lesson in coaching. It's about perspective. I was celebrating a last-second win in my first year of coaching over arch rival for the conference tournament championship. As the buzzer sounded and the game ended, towels, water bottles, and other items were thrown into the air. Everyone was on the floor congratulating me, and I was somewhere in the clouds. As Mr. A. Doyle Early, my principal, approached me, I anticipated the words, "Job well done." Instead, these words were spoken. Kay, you brought 12 towels here. Now I want you to take 12 towels back. Count the towels. Needless to say, my feet became firmly grounded, for I knew he meant what he said. In other words, it's great to win, but don't forget you have responsibilities and that you are accountable to follow through. Life goes on. Perspective. At the Olympics in '88, as my eyes filled with tears of joy, I watched the American flag being raised and our players standing on the platform receiving gold medals. Suddenly, I had a mental marquee flashing through my mind. Count the towels. And so tonight, I humbly accept this award on behalf of so many others. As I do this, the marquee is still flashing. Count the towels. Thank you.